All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. You ready to jump into the world of AI with me today?
Always ready.
Okay, great, because we've got a really interesting one today. It's this new AI model out of China. It's called Deepseek, and well, it's causing quite a stir.
Definitely making some waves.
Yeah, so we're going to try to break down why exactly that is.
Yep.
I've got a few different articles and research papers here, even a YouTube video by Drofrathi.
Drofrathi. Nice.
Always a good source, right? So Deepseek, this Chinese research lab, launched it in January 2025. That's just last month, and it's already shaking things up.
Yeah, it's moved fast.
It really has. So let's get right to it. Why is Deepseek such a big deal? What makes it stand out from, say, ChatGPT?
Well, one of the most fascinating things right off the bat is how Deepseek's been outperforming these big names like ChatGPT and even Google's Gemini.
Really? Like across the board?
Yeah, especially when it comes to like math and logical reasoning, it's really strong there.
Interesting. And what about the cost? ChatGPT just rolled out that $200 a month pro version, right?
Yeah, they did.
So where does Deepseek land on that?
Deepseek. It's totally free.
No way. Are you serious?
Completely free.
That's a game changer right there. I mean, $200 a month versus free, that's a huge difference for people.
Absolutely. And that accessibility has played a big role in Deepseek's popularity. It just exploded.
Yeah, the articles were saying it became the top downloaded app in, I think it's like a week in multiple countries, even surpassed ChatGPT.
Yeah, even in the US, which is wild.
That's crazy. So it's not just about being free, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of impact has this had, like real world impact?
Oh, yeah. Deepseek sent shockwaves through the stock market, especially for US companies like really heavily invested in AI.
Like who?
Well, the biggest example is NVIDIA. They make those super powerful computer chips for AI development. Their valuation plummeted.
Plummeted. Like how much are we talking?
We're talking a single-day loss of almost $600 billion.
That's insane.
The biggest single-day loss for any company ever.
Wow. Okay, so this Deepseek is the real deal. We're not messing around here. So
Yeah.
Who is this mastermind behind it all who created Deepseek?
So the guy behind Deepseek is Liang Wenfeng, but he's kind of an enigma, likes to stay out of the spotlight.
Yeah, I got that sense from the video too, but his approach to developing this AI, it's unique.
Yeah, very much so.
The video was talking about how instead of like hiring a bunch of engineers, he went straight to universities, recruited top PhD students.
He really focused on the science of it all.
It sounds like he had a very specific vision in mind.
Oh, yeah. Wenfeng was driven by scientific curiosity. You know, his goal was to create an AI that was genuinely smarter, more capable than anything we'd seen before. And to do that, he focused on training Deepseek on these really, really challenging questions.
So like pushing its limits, pushing the boundaries of how an AI could think.
Exactly. He wanted to see how far he could push it.
So how does Deepseek actually think, though? The video kept mentioning this chain of thought model, and I got to be honest, it sounds a little intimidating.
It's not as complex as it sounds. So Deepseek and even ChatGPT's newest model, O1, they both use this chain of thought idea.
Okay, and what does that actually mean in practice?
Yeah. So basically it means these AIs can reason on a more advanced level, much closer to how we humans think things through.
So instead of just like spitting out an answer, they actually take a moment to analyze the question, think it through.
Right. It's not just about retrieving information. It's about understanding it.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So could you give us an example of this chain of thought in action?
Sure. So there's this example in the source material about the question which is bigger, 9.11 or 9.9.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
A lot of older AI models would actually get this wrong. They'd see the extra digits in 9.11 and assume it's the bigger number.
I can see how that would happen. Like a basic algorithm would trip up on that.
Right, exactly. But Deepseek, with its chain of thought capability, it actually takes the time to consider different interpretations of the question, thinks about potential errors, and arrives at the correct answer, 9.9.
So it's not just about being right. It's about understanding why it's right.
Yeah, and what's even cooler is that Deepseek actually shows you its reasoning process step by step so you can see exactly how it got there.
That's awesome. It's like peeking behind the curtain of the AI's mind and seeing how it works.
Exactly. It's all about transparency.
I love that. Okay, so we've got this AI Deepseek. It's free. It's outperforming the competition. Yeah. And can explain its reasoning. That's pretty impressive.
It's definitely making a statement.
That really is. So where do we go from here?
Well, I think the next logical step is to really compare Deepseek with its main rival, ChatGPT. See where each one excels.
Okay, so Deepseek versus ChatGPT. Let's break it down. Where does Deepseek really shine?
Well, it's not a simple answer. both have their strengths, but from what we've seen, DeepSeek really excels in things like quantitative reasoning, that ability to work with numbers and logic.
Right, and it seems to be really good at generating original insights, too.
Absolutely. It can connect the dots in ways that we haven't really seen before.
Like that example from the source material where DeepSeek came up with that fascinating insight about humans using storytelling as a kind of cognitive exoskeleton. I mean, that's pretty profound stuff.
Yeah, that one really stood out to me too. It shows DeepSeek's capacity for abstract thinking. It's not just repeating information, it's synthesizing and creating something new.
Okay, so DeepSeek Free can explain its reasoning, really good at math and logic, and can generate original insights. It's a pretty strong resume so far, but there's got to be a downside, right? Nothing's perfect.
Of course, no AI is perfect, and DeepSeek's biggest weakness, at least for now, seems to be its response time.
Oh yeah, the video mentioned that it can take a while to process requests compared to ChatGPT.
Right, it's definitely something to consider if you need answers quickly.
They were saying it's probably due to server overload, with everyone and their mother trying to use DeepSeek right now.
Yeah, the popularity surge has definitely put a strain on their servers.
Makes sense. So is DeepSeek just built with faster hardware, or is there something fundamentally different about its architecture?
There are definitely some key differences in how it's built. DeepSeek uses what's called a mixture of experts approach, which makes it incredibly efficient.
A mixture of experts. Okay, break that down for me.
Yeah. So imagine like a hospital with specialized departments. You've got cardiologists, neurologists, surgeons, all these experts focused on specific areas.
Right, so instead of having one general AI trying to do it all, DeepSeek has these specialized experts for different tasks, like an AI engineer, an AI doctor, an AI lawyer, each one ready to tackle a specific problem.
Exactly. That's the idea. And it not only improves accuracy, but it also cuts down on processing time and resources.
That's really clever, especially considering the DeepSeek team didn't have the same level of resources as some of the bigger players in the AI field.
It's a testament to their ingenuity.
All right, let's talk about something that's been generating a ton of buzz, DeepSeek being open source. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
pretty big deal, right?
It's huge. The code for DeepSeek is publicly available, meaning anyone can modify it, adapt it, build on top of it.
So it's a completely different philosophy compared to like OpenAI, which keeps its code under wraps.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? A Chinese AI being more open than the American company called OpenAI.
It is pretty ironic. Maybe that's why Elon Musk keeps calling them closed AI.
He's got a point.
He does, but seriously, what are the implications of DeepSeek being open source? Like, what does it mean for the future of AI?
Well, we're already seeing Western companies like Microsoft integrating DeepSeek into their products, and it's just the beginning.
So potentially anyone could tweak and improve these powerful AI models. That's both exciting and a little scary.
It definitely has the potential to democratize AI development, and that's a powerful concept.
It does feel like we're opening a Pandora's box for AI,
Yeah.
but that's a conversation for another time.
Definitely.
Okay, so open source, huge potential. But the source material also mentions some controversy surrounding DeepSeek, specifically when it comes to censorship. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, there are concerns about DeepSeek's inability to answer certain questions, specifically anything critical of the Chinese government.
So it's like they've built in these limits, these boundaries.
It seems that way. The Chinese government has a pretty strict approval process for their AI models.
So basically, if you ask DeepSeek about sensitive political topics, it's just going to dodge the question.
Pretty much, they want to keep things within certain parameters.
That's definitely something to keep in mind.
Okay.
But on the flip side, OpenAI isn't exactly squeaky clean either.
Yeah.
Right? They're facing those lawsuits for using copyrighted material without permission.
Yeah. That's a whole other can of worms. Who owns the data? Who has the right to use it for training these AI models? It's a legal and ethical minefield.
It is, and then you've got the U.S. government trying to restrict chip exports to China, essentially trying to slow down their AI advancements. It's like we're in this AI arms race.
It's a fascinating dynamic, though, right? The U.S. tries to limit China's access to technology, and then DeepSeek comes out of nowhere and makes these huge breakthroughs with limited resources.
It really makes you question the whole paradigm of AI development. Do we need massive funding and these huge corporations to move AI forward, or can innovation happen in unexpected places?
That's the million-dollar question, and DeepSeek is forcing us to confront it.
So if DeepSeek can achieve all this with limited resources, what does it mean for the future of AI? What about other countries trying to enter this space?
Well, DeepSeek's success could be a blueprint for other countries looking to develop their own AI capabilities.
It's like they've shown that it's possible to compete even with the big guys.
Exactly. It's a reminder that the AI landscape is constantly evolving and anything is possible.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. DeepSeek's capabilities, the controversies, and its potential impact on the future of AI. But what's the big takeaway? What should our listeners walk away with?
I think DeepSeek's emergence is a wake-up call. It
Yeah.
challenges our assumptions about who the leaders in AI are, the role of open source technology, and the very nature of innovation itself.
It's a lot to think about.
It is, but it's an exciting time to be following AI.
It really is. So, DeepSeek Game Changer, showcasing China's growing AI power, highlighting innovative development approaches, and demonstrating the power of open source AI to reshape the landscape. But what about the bigger picture? What does all this mean for the future of AI and its impact on the world? It feels like we're at like a crossroads here with AI. DeepSeek is really pushing us to reconsider everything we thought we knew.
Yeah, it's a turning point for sure.
So where do we even go from here?
Well, I think DeepSeek raises these really fundamental questions,
Yeah.
Do we really need massive funding and resources to make big advancements in AI, or is there another way?
Is DeepSeek proof that you don't need to be a giant tech company to innovate?
It definitely challenges that assumption, and it makes you wonder, what could happen if these powerful tools become more accessible, if AI development becomes more democratized?
Like DeepSeek is a catalyst for a whole new era of AI.
It could be.
So for our listeners who want to learn more, what would you recommend?
Well, definitely check out the stuff we've been talking about. The Dhruv Rathi video is a great starting point. It's
Okay.
very clear and easy to follow.
And for the more tech-savvy listeners,
There are links to the research papers and articles. Those go into a lot more detail about how DeepSeek works.
and can't forget that DeepSeek is open source. Anyone can download it and tinker with the code.
Exactly. It's like an open invitation to join the AI revolution.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the big takeaway is that DeepSeek's emergence isn't just about China becoming an AI superpower. It's a reminder that innovation can come from anywhere. It can shake things up and challenge what we think is possible.
It's a call to action for all of us to stay curious and maybe even be bold enough to disrupt the AI landscape ourselves.
Exactly. We can all be a part of this.
Well said. So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the world of DeepSeek. We've explored its capabilities, the controversies surrounding it, and its potential to shape the future of AI. Now it's your turn to keep exploring, keep asking questions, and see where this AI revolution takes us. Until next time, happy exploring.